عذرا بيروت.
Good afternoon. You're watching the English newscast on Future Television. I'm Lina Tamim, and these are today's headlines. Lebanese Army Commander General Jean Ahwaji praises the courage of Lebanese soldiers on the occasion of Army Day. U.S. Ambassador to Lebanon David Hale says it is up to the Lebanese to stop tearing down the state institutions and reiterates his country's support to the Lebanese Army. And several hundreds attend the funeral of Palestinian toddler killed in a suspected Jewish arson attack in a village near Nablus. Lebanese Army Commander General Jean Ahwaji has praised the courage of Lebanese soldiers on the occasion of Army Day after a near year-long battle with militants embedded along the border with Syria. The Lebanese Army has been engaged in battles against Syria-based ISIS and Nusra Front fighters since last August, after the militants briefly overran the northeastern border town of Arsal. During their withdrawal from Arsal to its outskirts, the militants took 37 soldiers and policemen hostage. They're still holding 25 after Nusra shot dead 2 and released 8, and ISIS beheaded a further 2. But Ahwaji hailed the Lebanese army for confronting terrorist organizations with a high level of professionalism. He said the crisis engulfing the entire Arab region, the lack of clear, short-term solutions, along with ongoing Lebanese political divisions resulting in a presidential vacuum, have again prevented a military parade and the traditional celebration that grants a sword to the graduating officers. Parliament Speaker Nabih Berri has received Lebanese Army Commander General Jean Ahwaji, who handed him the new 50,000 Lebanese pound bill, which was issued by the Lebanese Central Bank on the occasion of Army Day. In turn, Berri congratulated the Lebanese army and hailed its role in preserving Lebanon's security and stability. On another note, Berri said the toppling of the government would cross a red line for both the Amal movement and Hezbollah, as the cabinet again failed to find a solution to the 2-week-old garbage crisis. Berri said Prime Minister Tamam Slam was fulfilling his duties and working to contain differences in the cabinet so the body could continue to shoulder its responsibilities. U.S. Ambassador David Hale stressed it was up to the Lebanese people to stop tearing down the state institutions and said his country was committed to keeping its support to the Lebanese army. The diplomat expressed his admiration for the Lebanese army and the security forces on the occasion of the army's 70th founding anniversary. In his words.
I just had the pleasure of meeting with Prime Minister Salam, and we discussed a range of topics of mutual interest. During our discussion, I stressed one critical underlying message: America's enduring commitment to Lebanon. Regional developments have not altered America's policy toward Lebanon or any of our commitments to Lebanon, nor do they alter our commitment to regional security. And I want to make clear to the people of Lebanon, America supports you and will stand shoulder to shoulder with you. I also want to express my admiration for Lebanon's army and its security services on the occasion of the Army's 70th anniversary. The Lebanese Armed Forces have done an extraordinary job of responding to the threats arising from across the Syrian border. The Army has demonstrated to enemies and friends alike that it is strong, fully capable of defending Lebanon's borders and its people, and that it has the support of those people. And we are committed to ensuring the Army has the capability to meet its responsibilities to defend and protect the borders. America has been, is, and will continue to be the Army's steadfast and foremost security partner. Since 2006, we've provided more than $1 billion in security assistance and critical training. And just as you can count on international support, Lebanon has something no other military has, and that is the Lebanese soldier. Our trainers know best, and they say that Lebanon soldiers, their skills, their professionalism, their dedication to duty, and their commitment to defend their country are unsurpassed. Now, our civilian programs are every bit as important as our security work, if less well known. $220 million to Lebanon's education sector, $281 million to other sectors such as water and economic development, new duty-free access to America for the vast majority of Lebanese products, $869 million to help Lebanon and Lebanese communities cope with the refugee crisis. And I'm pleased to announce today an additional $20.2 million of grant from the United States to the UN World Food Program for its emergency food assistance operations inside Lebanon. At stressful times like these, the Lebanese justifiably look to their friends abroad for legitimate assistance to state institutions. As I've said, we and many others are responding. It's therefore all the more troubling when political leaders, whatever their motives, take actions or positions that damage the very state institutions which are needed now more than ever. Instead of strength, we see a vacant presidency. Instead of cooperation, we see blockage, including of some international loans and grants that the Lebanese people so rightly want and need to deal with the crushing burdens on this society. We will do our part and are responding to every request made of us for help. But it's in the power of only the Lebanese to stop this tearing down of the institutions of state and to start repairing them. When that starts to happen, solutions will follow, as well as even stronger international support.
The driver of Social Affairs Minister Rashid Darbas has dropped his charges against activist Tariq al-Mallah, who was released along with fellow activist Firas Abu Zainuddin after a 3-day detention for allegedly participating in an attack on the minister's car. A judicial source, however, says the two are still facing charges of contempt and defamation brought on by the state prosecutor, and they were released after each paying a 200,000 Lebanese pound bail. Darbas's driver, who remains unidentified, had reportedly filed a complaint when he was giving his testimony to the Internal Security Forces earlier this week. And coming up next, Beijing is chosen by the International Olympic Committee to host the 2022 Winter Olympics. More after the break. Welcome back. Several hundreds have attended the funeral of a Palestinian toddler killed in a suspected Jewish arson attack in a village near Nablus. The 18-month-old boy burned to death after settlers set fire to his family house in Douma village south of Nablus city in the occupied West Bank. The parents of Ali Saad Dawabshi and his 4-year-old brother were also injured in the attack. Medics say up to 75% of their bodies suffered burns. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas strongly condemned the fatal attack. His outrage was echoed by senior Palestinian negotiator Saeb Erekat, who said Palestinian authorities held the Israeli government ultimately responsible for the assault. The Israeli army issued a statement saying they were trying to locate the suspects in the attack. British Prime Minister David Cameron says his government will take action to deal with the attempts by migrants in France to enter the country illegally via the Channel Tunnel. Cameron is under growing pressure to deter the migrants, many of whom have traveled from Africa and the Middle East after repeated disruption to cross-channel passenger and freight traffic.
Well, the situation is not acceptable, and it is absolutely this government's priority to deal with it in every way we can. We've got people trying to illegally enter our country, and here in Britain we've got lorry drivers and holidaymakers facing potential delays. And we're going to take action right across the board, starting with helping the French on their side of the border. We're going to put in more fencing, more resources, more sniffer dog teams, more assistance in any way we can in terms of resources. I'll be speaking with President Hollande later today. I want to thank him for the extra French police resources that have been put in, that have had some effect, but we are keen to offer more and work hand in glove with them to reduce the pressure on that side of the border. Here in Kent, we need to do more to help lorry drivers and holiday makers. We're going to do everything we can to reduce the disruption, including using MOD land, and we'll be looking at other options that we can take as well. Look, this is going to be a difficult issue right across the summer. I'll have a team of senior ministers who will be working to deal with it, and we rule nothing out in taking action to deal with this very serious problem. We're absolutely on it. We know it needs more work.
A Malaysian official and aviation experts say plane debris washed up on the French island of Reunion in the Indian Ocean is almost certainly part of a Boeing 777. The statement is potentially the biggest breakthrough in the search for missing flight MH370. Malaysian investigators are expected in Reunion, and the object, identified by aviation experts as part of a wing, would then be sent to a French military laboratory near Toulouse for checks. National carrier Malaysia Airlines was operating a Boeing 777 when the flight disappeared in March of last year en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, creating one of the most baffling mysteries in aviation history. It was carrying 239 passengers and crew. Celebrities have expressed their outrage at the killing of Cecil the lion on social media this week. The untimely passing of the celebrated predator at the hands of an American dentist in Zimbabwe. 200 people stood in protest outside the suburban Minneapolis dental practice of 55-year-old Walter Palmer, calling for him to be extradited to Zimbabwe to face charges of taking part in an illegal hunt. Palmer, a lifelong big game hunter, has admitted killing Cecil with a bow and arrow on July 1st near Zimbabwe's Hwange National Park, but said he had hired professional local guides with the required hunting permits and believed the hunt was legal. Zimbabwean authorities confirmed they will seek Walter's extradition. Zimbabwean Minister of Environment Opa Wunchiguri said the government was taking the issue seriously and appreciated the international support on social media.
I'm happy that the two other criminals, the locals, have already appeared before our local courts, but we have certain processes that we have to follow, where I think the police will have to take the first step, then they will approach the prosecutor general's office, who will approach the American government. And I understand that already the processes have started, and we are looking forward for his extradition. But there is so much outcry now, and I'm very happy that I've been following on Facebook that almost 500,000 people are calling for his extradition, and we need that support, because this is the route that we are taking as Zimbabwe. We are taking the issues very seriously. As we frantically tried to protect our wildlife from organized gangs such as this one, there are people who command respect in the society, such as Dr. Walter James Palmer, a well-known dentist, and Theo Bronkhorst, an experienced licensed professional hunter who can connive to undermine Zimbabwean law, international laws, and CITES regulations.
Now for some sports news. Beijing was chosen by the International Olympic Committee to host the 2022 Winter Olympics, becoming the first city to be awarded both Summer and Winter Games. The Chinese capital beat Almaty, Kazakhstan, in a secret ballot of 85 IOC members held at a convention center in downtown Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with IOC President Thomas Bach opening an envelope to announce the decision. Beijing bid officials celebrated the decision in the hall, while people gathered outside the National Stadium in Beijing cheered and waved flags when they heard the announcement. Despite concerns about a lack of natural snow in the city's distant mountains and protests from human rights groups, Beijing had been the clear favorite to win the vote after it successfully hosted the 2008 Summer Olympics. This marks the end of our bulletin for today. Now for a recap of our top stories. Lebanese Army Commander General Jean Ahwaji praises the courage of Lebanese soldiers on the occasion of Army Day. U.S. Ambassador to Lebanon David Hale says it is up to the Lebanese to stop tearing down the state institutions and reiterates his country's support to the Lebanese army. And several hundreds attend the funeral of a Palestinian toddler killed in a suspected Jewish arson attack in a village near Nablus. Those are your top stories for today. I'm Linda Tamim, and I wish you all a very nice weekend.